Yes.
So how does your resume stand out? And it's very relevant, even in this day and age, it's very relevant because that's the first place you start, submitting who you are to a company. Leadership is not only assigned to leaders.
Mhm.
Leadership is for everybody.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the ChinUp Career Podcast. My name is Nidal Gaznadar, career coach and founder of ChinUp. This podcast is all about sharing the best practices, strategies, and expert insights to help professionals like you land their dream jobs and grow their careers. Today, I'm excited to welcome a special guest, Afreen Asif, a director at Procter Gamble PNG. Hello, Afreen. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, Nidal, how are you? Thank you for having me here.
Absolutely. All right. So today we're going to explore the top strategies from your experience, Afreen,
Mhm.
a lot of years in big companies, how to help people land their dream jobs at big companies. All right. So let's dive in. Afreen, can you start by sharing with us a bit about your journey and current role at PNG?
Awesome, will do. So I'm originally from India. I have a bachelor's in microbiology, zoology, and chemistry. That's my core expertise. And then I have a postgraduate diploma in computer science because at that time when I was in and finished my bachelor's, computers was the big thing and Y2K was the big thing. So I learned a thing or two about programming. So I come from a very diverse background in terms of education because my bachelor's in is in life sciences, but then I
Mhm.
got exposure to computer science, both application as well as programming. So I came to United States some time back. Years become days now, and everything looks mixed up. So I've been in US for more than 25 years.
Wow.
And so I landed a job in P&G, and basically doing method work because of my bachelor's in microbiology. That's where I started. But I always wanted to be closer to the business.
Mhm.
And I had the desire to be relevant in terms of when they talk about town halls and being ahead of the game. So I asked for assignment change, and I quickly moved into what we call is current business, managing current business with manufacturing. So basically, in that space, if manufacturing has to continue shipment, so our primary role and focus was to make sure that manufacturing sites, whichever the site that we would be working with, is continuing to ship product to market that is which meets the quality requirements. And within
Nice.
my role with what call it MPD or current business management, we had different priorities that we would focus. So very quickly, being there, I was there for about 10 years doing current business, but every few years I would change because I am somebody who doesn't like to be comfortable in a
Mhm.
role. So every few years I love to change and I would talk to my manager, find out what is going on and then make a change. So I did in my first 10 years with P&G, I did for oral care, I was in oral care. I was supporting businesses within oral care. So I did floss for 3 years. Then I did rinses, manufacturing of rinses. Rinses
Mhm.
can be Scope and Crest Pro Health rinse that you see in the market. Then after 3 years of that, I moved into paste. I did toothpaste, Crest toothpaste for 3 years. I did quite a lot of different things in that space, not only shipping the cases, but capacity projects. So basically, if a plant has capacity constraints, they're not able to produce something, then I would qualify an alternate plant working in collaboration with my partners, my purchasing partners, because they would
Great.
identify the plant and then I would lead the qualification. So I share, and then after 10 years of that, I moved into initiatives, managing
Mhm.
initiatives for Crest, delivering new initiatives to market. For example, Crest Charcoal is one of my initiatives, which so very quickly I was a, my I was known for delivering initiatives on a very fast timing or any project on a very fast timing with high quality output.
Mhm.
So that became my equity, and as I moved and grew in PNG, that was one of the equities that I took along with me. I was in an upstream role where I was consumer facing, talking to consumers, and then do new innovation, very upstream innovation that was in denture cleanser. I was there for about in oral care. I was there for 17 years. Again, very diverse set of backgrounds, working with the manufacturing, within R&D, both midstream and upstream. Then I moved into something in P&G. We have a corporate upstream innovation leg, a part
Mhm.
of the company, but my role was very downstream. I was an operations manager there.
Wow.
And boy, oh boy, like, you have to be in operations to
Mhm.
understand what operations is. I was there for a couple of years, and then I became during that journey of being with P&G for 21 years, I've grown, and that's the beauty of working in any big company is you can take on a lot more than what your role is, and then just show how your leadership characteristics, right? So you can pick up a
Wow.
project with limited information and launch it and bring it to life based on the business needs. So that has been my journey.
Yeah, that's very impressive. Now, Afreen, I have a question here, which is now you moved into different sectors or different business lines, right?
Yep,
How did you do that? It's not easy, right?
it's not
I see
easy.
people who would spend 10 years in one line and they would
Yeah,
say, I still need time in order to understand this
yep,
business line. But you
absolutely.
jumped into
Very
different
happy.
business lines and you did very well.
Yeah.
You did extremely well. What is your secret?
So I think there's no secret. I think it's so I'll take a step back and say we all are very different, right? We all are different, and we need to find what motivates us and how can we best leverage what we bring to the table. Like, what's our passion? How do we best deliver it? My passion is always been to deliver, right? So that is
Mm,
something that I want to deliver with excellence because I'm very much careful about my credibility and equity. I keep an eye on that, how people perceive me, how people. It's not about I'm trying to please them, but this is who I am, and I want to do things with excellence. That's the
mm,
equity that I want to carry because I have a why. I have a why to take my personal why is to take care of my family, right? And with
okay.
that why, my how becomes excellence. And
Mm,
there is a way to deliver with excellence is just get into the weeds, right? Um, so number one is whenever I'm somebody who likes to be uncomfortable, right? And for me, depth versus breadth, right? So people who are, again, we all are different. We all have different desires and different wishes. And some individuals would love to get into the depth, right? I need to get deeper and deeper because learning is not limited, it's
mhm,
unlimited. You can always learn and reinvent things. That's how innovation happens. So for me, breadth was very important and not the depth. So that's where how I could move across is I would gain the understanding needed to deliver what's needed to deliver at hand,
mm,
right? And I needed to get better at delivering. Like, so I needed to understand the risk with delivering because everything that you deliver on a very fast timing comes with risk.
yes.
So that's where I would focus my energy and focus my thinking. So if I'm delivering a consumer, like for denture cleanser, I was delivering a new consumer need. So I would spend time and understand how do I talk to consumers.
Mm,
I would invest in myself, find all the resources that are available for me within the company. And back then, Google was the best friend, right? So you do Google searches, you try to
great.
find different materials that are available for you within the resources that are available, right? So if we just do Google search, there's so many articles about understanding consumers or understanding different parts of the world, right? So I would take that. So number one, do the research, understand what are each, as you go faster, what are the risks each project carries, and how do you prepare yourself so that you are able to holistically look at the different plans and then partner heavy. So for me, it's like I don't have all the answers. I'll tell you that right now, right? So who in the company, who is my partner who can help me
Wow.
look at and then be able to say that this, what I am thinking, my thought process is right or not, and then deliver. Though that's what I do is hope that
Wow.
helps. So in
That,
in a nutshell, basically, I look at where do I want to go next, right?
mhm.
Do research, understand the risk overall associated with what are the opportunities, and identify like learning plans or plans to deliver it, and then partner heavy with folks that can help me get there.
Got it. That's very important now, especially the last part, which is searching for partners and people to help you with the knowledge and the application. It's it's very important. Afin, I can tell. Now, what can in this case, what can job seekers, since you've climbed the ladder in a big company and now you are in a leadership position and
Mhm.
you are hiring people as well, what can job seekers do to stand out during the application processes at big companies?
Yes. So always remember that any person who's hiring, right, from a big company, big organization perspective, their attention span is going to be very minimum,
Mm,
right? Because imagine like you have so much more responsibilities and now you have to vet through all the different candidates that are being applied that are applying for the position. So
yes.
how does your resume stand out? That's your point of entry to any kind of relationship, is that one piece of document that becomes and defines who you are, who as an individual you are, right? So
Hmm.
that's where my focus is always is, this is a piece of paper that you're sharing about yourself to anybody, right? And how interesting would somebody be, right? And it's always important to put yourself in the shoes of the person who's hiring or person who's listening, a person,
Yes.
right? So it's always important to make sure you put yourself in their shoes and make sure the communication is strong on your resume that resonates with the hiring manager, right? So that's, and before even what goes on the paper on the resume is what have an individual done, what have you done, what have I done, right?
Right.
As I'm putting about myself on resume, is it interesting for somebody to be able to catch the attention? So my resume, my education, my experiences, all of it, is it competitive, right? And it has to be in a format which is not too wordy, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to this podcast about leadership and communication. It seems we as individuals don't communicate in long sentences. Okay. If somebody is talking to you in a paragraph, you will lose them immediately. So
Right.
it's like short sentences that drive attention.
Wow.
And then even those short sentences are not are catchy. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a statement. It's not a sentence. It's a statement that says, I did this and was able to deliver X.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when I look at resumes, the resumes are more like facts.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's looking for facts because we know you're hiring worthy. That's how you got your finished education. But what have you delivered, and why would I like to hire you? Right? So that's where the resume should be written from. Very succinct, very short, not too much details, but what we call it is CAR, context, action, and results. So what's the context? The first sentence is, I work for company X. My role was to assess costs of material. And within 3 months of my assignment, I delivered X amount of cost savings.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very strong way to communicate rather than the way I see traditional way is company X, title, and then role required. Like what was the role for?
Duties. Yeah.
Yeah, duties, exactly. It's the
Mhm.
duties. It's not even what was the action, what was my role, and what did I
Right.
deliver, right? So somehow that needs to shift. That shift needs to happen where people need to focus on the results achieved in a
Mm-hmm.
resume in a manner which resonates with the hiring organization. And
Um,
this can be for anybody. And Nidal, one thing that I just want to share is people always say no, barriers. There's a lot of things that can happen. This is impossible. I don't think you can have.
mhm.
When that to me is noise.
Mm.
Okay, that is absolutely noise that people need to keep an eye on, but not get distracted or derailed because of that noise, right? So what I'm going to be sharing is shifting the way we work. And
Mm.
for shifting the way we work, there will be a lot of objections. There will be a lot of pushbacks, and an individual need to say, "It's okay, right?
Mhm.
I know what I'm doing." The clarity of what needs to be delivered, and how you go there is with the individual. And everything else is distraction and noise. And you pick and choose which to pay attention and which not to. Hope
Right.
that makes sense.
Make perfect sense. But in this case, Afreen, what you call for is not to have a standard resume where you put company and title and then duties, but you rearrange, reorganize, redraft your resume in a way to be more an attractive kind of document to attract the attention of hiring managers to
Exactly.
reach out to you, right?
Yes.
Um, okay. But
And
that
in this
includes
book,
numbers, right? You can add numbers, you can,
yeah.
right?
And
Achievements.
if the numbers are confidential, you can say approximately,
Yes.
right? You don't have to say the exact number,
Mm,
approximately. And in this world and age, what's the most important leadership quality is execution,
mm-hmm.
right? You find an opportunity, you find the way to solve that opportunity and deliver it. Because the skills are there, like, and skills are important, absolutely important, because that skills will help you as we do assessment. Is this is the skill that is needed for me to position or have this candidate for this role? Skills are important. And equally important is how you do something, right? So many a times, again, going back to a traditional resume, it's the total, it's a company name, title,
Mm,
and roles, or just the
beauty.
duties.
Yeah.
So my ask is share example of excellent leadership qualities that have that have delivered some results in a space. And if
Mm,
there was any limitation, like how did you overcome? Like these are part of the interview questions, but is
right.
there any way that an individual can
Capture that.
articulate
Mm,
exactly to the resume? Because that's your point of entry. That's
yes.
how.
Marketing tool. I tell my clients it is your marketing tool, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's such an important piece of paper that it's in, and it's very relevant. Even in this day and age, it's very relevant because that's the first place you start, submitting who you are to a company. So,
Right.
yeah.
Absolutely. That's amazing. Now, you are at a leadership position, Afreen, and a lot of people are applying for these leadership position. What advice could you give to someone who's looking for a job specifically for leadership positions at big companies?
So it depend on the company. They have to do the homework and understand about the company and what is
Mm-hmm.
their policy, right? So I don't want to say it's not possible because I have broken all paradigms about not possible. So there's always a possibility somewhere along the way. But understand when if somebody's applying for a leadership position, understand what does the landscape look like. Which companies have the hiring within policy, like growing within policy. P&G
Mm-hmm.
grows within, right? We have this very clear policy that says we are going to grow within, and external talent is very limited, right? It's possible, very limited, where we get experienced hire and we say we're going to have this leadership position for that. It is possible. I've seen people do that, but do the assessment as to which organization, which companies do bring experience higher. That's number one, right? Not every company does it. So find out which company it is, find
Mm-hmm.
out the culture, right? Because everybody in my head, simplistically,
Mm-hmm.
anybody and everybody can do a job.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody, I'm telling you, everybody has great potential. Every individual has great potential. It's the culture that makes them do it or break it, or develop them, right? So
Right.
that's the second thing, is understand the culture of the
Mm-hmm.
organization they're planning to apply. And it's a simple thing where you can do Google searches, right? And to understand where the company is within a company, read through it. And then if you have any network, LinkedIn is very much available so people can see what people are posting about the company, and you can read within the lines about what kind of culture it is. So understand the culture. Number two is understand the culture. And the
Mm-hmm.
number three is understand what is required of that job. Because if that leadership position is about managing people, which is very different, managing initiatives, which is very different, or technology development, which is very different. So understand what the role is and then see how well you have that passion or desire to deliver it. Because as I said, we all are different. If you put me into
Mm-hmm.
an in-depth role where I have to do depth, I can do it. I don't see any issues, but I'll be bored crazy, right? As somebody who loves to, I have this constant move that I need
Yeah,
to do to stimulate myself. So always know that, like, who you are and what is the position that would best resonate with you.
got it, got it. I remember we had a previous talk, Afreen, and I remember we talked about even if you are not applying for a leadership position, keep the leadership kind of aspect in mind when you talk during the
Yes.
interview, right?
Yes.
Ownership, leadership, right?
Exactly, absolutely. As I in leadership is not only assigned to leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Leadership is for everybody. So at any level and every level, you are a leader. And if you believe that you are a leader, you show up as a leader, right? And leadership qualities are ownership, as you said, ownership. I own a part of this company, right? So I'm going to show up as an owner. And if you are an owner, no matter what it is, you will move it forward, right? You will try to solve the problem.
Right,
Communication, number two is communication, being able to clearly articulate so that people can understand how do you move from A to B. And how do you make sure you're pulling everybody together? So communication, and I believe the third one I said was partnerships. Partnerships
right.
become very relationship, and partnerships become very important.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And then we are in the time of AI, and there are a lot of sourcing platforms, ATS systems. How can job seekers, Afreen, use these platforms and these tools effectively in their search?
So AI is another tool that
Mm,
enhances you, that helps you, just like how Google had become a tool for us. Any and every tool, there has been tools available over the ages for all of us. And how do you best use these tools to, A, is become more skillful, and B, is help you achieve what you want to achieve, right? Many a times we become in service of the tool rather than the tool serving us, right? So use AI. I think we should use AI as an interviewing platform. So you can say, "Hey AI, interview me," as if
mm,
you're with the P, with a company like P&G or any big company, pick Microsoft, anything that is big, that you want to be saying that, let's play a mocking.
mm,
Use that a platform as you interview me, or give me a set of questions, and then you answer, and then you go back and forth with AI just so that you can get that practice. And the core to all of this is you. You have to
mm,
be honest, authentic, right? And not use AI for things that are not right, right?
mhm,
And that's where the line should be drawn, is saying that this is who I am, this is my authentic self, and I'm going to bring my authentic self. These are my experiences, and how do I deliver it in a manner which resonates with the hiring organization, rather than making things up. Because many a times, um, people will pick insincerity, right? So if somebody is not being sincere, um, humans will pick it. Will pick
mhm.
it right away. Some
Right.
humans decide not to say something and ignore it, and some people, like the hiring folks, because they are trained, HR is trained to have those kind of like cues that can help us understand where this person is coming. So always be honest, always be truthful, and leverage AI as a tool that can help you improve yourself.
Awesome, awesome. Now, the people sometimes say, AI is taking my job, and we say AI is taking, A- AI needs you, and but someone else who knows how to use AI will be taking your job, right?
Yes.
So as you said, Afreen, we need to be aware of the AI tools, use them in a very authentic way, and make sure that we live with AI because this is, I guess, this is the future, right?
Mhm.
Right. Now, last question here, Afreed. Any last tips for professionals trying to land a job at big companies?
I would say, again, going back to the resume, preparing for the interview, practicing for the interview, and then as you're doing the interview process, many times folks do not listen to the question actually being asked,
Mm,
right? They have because they've prepared so much that they want to just spill it out, like what they have spent so much time in preparing, that I want to just present myself the way I think it's
right.
important, right? And that's where the biggest mistake folks do is, right? Because you might be fantastic. An individual can be fantastic and can bring a lot of different tools and experiences. Yet it's important the interview is able to get what they are looking for, right? So if an interviewer is asking a question, but in your mind you have this answer, which is not what the interviewer has asked, but you have prepared for this answer, that mismatch is a big mishap, right? That is telling me right away as an interviewer, you're not listening to me. If you're not listening to me, what is the guarantee when
Mm.
we hire you, you're going to listen to folks
You're
around you?
right.
And when I say listen, it's just hearing, paying attention, seeking to understand, right? All of those things comes with the first step is, okay, what is the question?
Right.
And during the process of interviewing, usually it's not an easy process, right? I'll tell you, like,
It's not.
it's not easy, right? It's uncomfortable. Nowadays, it's happening online, so there's a lot
Yes.
of uncertainty that it carries. So if you're not able to understand the question, take a minute and say, okay, let me make sure I get this. I hear you ask this question. Was I able to follow it? And then internalize it. Give me a minute, and then within less than 30 seconds come up with an answer, right?
Mm.
That is the skill that individuals need
Right.
to refine, is being able to pay attention when the question is being asked, internalize it, and answer in a fast manner. And again, when you answer it, make sure throughout that process, leadership is shown, right? Exhibited. So I was interviewing this candidate, and it's very incredible. Like, I love the one of the things that I do is interview, and I love interviewing because I see the talent, right? It
Mhm.
excites me when I see talent. And this individual, he was an intern. He applied for internship, and he was applying. He was in a big. I don't remember which organization, but it
Mhm.
was a big corporation that he had applied, and he shared basically, like, he was given like one sentence job. This is what you will be doing,
Right.
and he went and talked to people who he had barriers along the way. He overcame those barriers, and he explained that to me within like 5 minutes.
Wow.
Exactly, like how you're reacting.
Mm.
He explained to me that demonstrated that how he did not wait for somebody to come and tell this is the way to do it.
Mhm.
He took the ownership, and I've seen this with across the board. I had this lady who was interviewing for me from her car,
Mm.
and she was just sharing like, oh, I'm between shifts, and I just took my lunch break, and I'm
Mm.
doing interview in this. And her examples were absolutely incredible, like how she overcame COVID during COVID, how she just found an opportunity, stepped up, pulled everybody together, was able to adjust her style and deliver, right? So people can do it. It's just like
Mm.
hearing, listening, and then communicating effectively.
Right. Awesome. Awesome. So, Afreen, notes I took from our conversation: deliver with excellence. That's very important. The how of your why is to deliver with excellence. Search for partners to help you with knowledge and application. And resume is a very important tool, and document, it's a marketing tool. And put yourself always, when you um, apply for jobs, when you prepare for interviews, when you even work on your resume, make sure you put yourself in the shoes of hiring managers. So in this case, you create new things, and you deliver what you want to deliver in a way that the hiring managers will be happy, and they see the value you are bringing. All
Yeah.
right, Afreen, thank you so much for sharing your insights with us today. It was a great pleasure and a great conversation.
Awesome. Same here. Thank you, Nidal. I appreciate everything
Absolutely.
that you're doing for the organization that you're with. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye.